And obviously this year's really thrown the whole topic of inclusion and diversity into a new light with the social crisis that obviously you referred to in the introduction. You know, what has been a response? I mean, as a senior HR leader in Bayer, how have you and personally, and also how's the HR function supported some of your employees that are maybe being affected by this a little bit? Because it's I know from speaking to friends in the US, in the US in particular, it's been a really challenging time.
Yeah, for sure. And this shows up for us around the world, right? And so that's that focus on inclusion. It's that I, and everybody's in it. So, and I think a great question. It begins with us, the structure. So if we think about inclusion and diversity for us, it's not just a team of one or a small team. It's not just about work that's done in the business of HR, but it really permeates throughout our entire organization. So how we upskill and instill leaders around what does it mean to lead and be an inclusive leader and match people first, listening to people. We talk about inclusion takes two key actions in order to achieve it. Anytime you're engaging at least with one or another person. And the first is understanding what's unique and what are the unique skills about that person. And then secondly, creating a sense of belonging so that we maximize what's unique about each individual. And so that takes listening, that garners trust and facilitates greater trust. So it's the structure for us. We believe that all leaders and all people have a responsibility. So thankfully, the work, even increased work this year that has been unleashed is not just sitting on one or a few people, but all leaders are equipped. And we have some formal ways around that. We have what we call leadership teams that create an IND or Inclusion and Diversity Council. We have business resource groups, so employee-led and organized resource groups. In fact, 3 are global. Our resource groups around people with disabilities, LGBTQ plus, and women are global, and we have many others around the world. But the collective of this ecosystem that we've created really helps us listen, understand, take care of our people, match the words with action. So whether that shows up with some of the philanthropic giving specific to this year's particular unleashing of events, and just really, kind of taking care of each other in both the formal and informal ways, but having a sound strategy already was very timely, that it's helped us take care of, again, not only our workforce, but our customers, and our customers are in the business of life science. So, that care and concern has just, in a great way, been uplifted this year.
I like the way that you put the I before the D. I think because diversity, we can measure our diversity in numbers, but I'd be interested to understand how you measure inclusion, and you talked about belonging as well, which I think is really taking this whole concept to a much more advanced level.
So we measure the I, we measure inclusion or the I by a set of core questions that get at things such as trust or voice. And we inspect and ask our employees those questions. Do you feel that you're able to bring your full self and give your voice to innovation or to ideas? So we measure that through a core set of questions. And the intention is therefore that we can be transparent with leaders on how are they showing up, and more importantly, how is our workforce feeling around that degree of sense of belonging and being able to give voice to the total of a team.
Yeah.
So it's important to not just start and stop with the easy measures, and they're always not so easy either, but in the in the D category, diversity, such as gender or some of those obvious ones. But we don't start and stop there. And in bringing the complement of the I measures and taking a both and look at also helps us prioritize, because it's not a one size fit all at the scale of our company across so many countries and so many different divisions. So this will really help drive that targeted priorities. The dashboard is a key way of really in the moment accessing digital data tools that tell us how are we showing up in the space of inclusion.
In this series, we will be speaking to a range of senior leaders who are pushing a data-driven and digital HR agenda. Make sure that you subscribe via your podcast app of choice and also via our YouTube channel for free and regular interviews with the digital HR leaders of the future.